What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live, and we're back with another video for TMNT Mutant Madness. Today, we're going to look at my hero box, and I'm going to talk to you about what my top 10 heroes are. Now, if you've seen the tier list, a lot of those S and A class heroes are going to be on this list, but a couple that aren't in S or A are going to be on my list, mostly because it comes from my personal experience. What tunes have been really useful for me and very helpful in progressing in the game to get me where I'm at right now, and also that I feel are going to be useful now and moving forward. So let's get started. In 10th place, the newest tune that we actually all have access to is Samurai Leo. Surprisingly or not, I believe Samurai Leo does just barely make it into this top 10 list, because when I was using him to test him out, he actually helped me get past a couple of the campaign levels. I'm in chapter 26. I feel like that's pretty successful for a 4-star hero at level 225 with 0 dimension level. And I didn't even put all my best equipment on him. So if anybody was able to unlock Samurai Leo, you might find him quite useful in your squad. Plus, he's really fun to use, being that he's the new hero. Some people refer to him as Zorax Light. I really feel like he does a decent job with some of the things that he does and with his kit. Definitely works really well with other brawlers and tanks next to him. So I think that other characters that do that kind of things are good for him because of this right here, this Code of Honor. So pretty cool tune. He makes the number 10 slot. And moving into the number 9 slot is Ray. Now, some people were sad to see Ray get dropped from A tier to B tier in the last tier list. I think that based on a lot of the feedback, most people just underrate him in general. He was definitely underrated to begin with. He was in the A tier, and then with all the polls, most people voted him B tier, but I still think he's an amazing tank. He has that support role. He gives out defense. Before I had Toka, Ray was my guy. Ray was very, very useful. Even at 3 stars, level 200, got very, very far in the campaign with Ray. So I feel like he's a great tank, almost plug and play if you need a tank. Not all stages, especially in like something like Channel 6, need a tank, and that's when maybe you wouldn't want to use them. But if you need a tank and you don't have Toka or Frosty, then use Ray. He's definitely the 3rd best tank in my opinion, which is why he makes my top 10 list at number 9. Moving to number 8 is the hard-hitting Casey Jones, also called the poor man Zorax for some people. One of the great things about Casey is that he's available at 2 stars, so you can start building him right away. His special does hit pretty hard for that single target damage. One drawback is that he does reduce his own alertness. It's for a very short amount of time, but if one of your supports are trying to give him defense when he's done that, it doesn't help him survive a whole lot. But that's kind of the sacrifice you get in order to hit really hard with that big hit of his. So Casey, I used him for a long time. He was my second 4-star unlock, and my first one was Shredder, and Shredder was a dumpster fire when that happened. So Casey was my boy. He carried me very, very far in the game. So very useful tune. That's why Casey gets number 8 in my top 10 list. Moving up to number 7 is, and some people are going to ask, why is he so low in your top 10 list, is Zorax. And Zorax is only number 7 because even though I recently got him and I do use him in PvP, he does hit like a truck when he gets his stacks. I don't have any dimension level on him. I've only been able to take him to 225 because Ooze is hard to come by once you get past 200. It is expensive to level up those tunes. So, love and hate Zorax. I hated him before I had him. I do love having him, but there are just times, especially in Channel 6, where he doesn't quite do what I want him to do. It's very conditional. I'm really not excited about the nerf or balance that will be coming to him at the end of the season. I have a feeling he will no longer be everyone's favorite, and he will no longer be on the top 10 list when that happens. Maybe he'll still be really great, but I just don't see that happening. We'll just have to wait and see. But for now, he does make number 7 on my top 10 list. Moving into the damage dealer that I think is better at number 6 is Shredder. So often, because Shredder also has 260 dimension level compared to my Zorax at 0. I love the way that they reworked Shredder. I think he's probably one of the best damage dealers in the game all around. I love his bladed armor doing damage back that he disarms so that no one's able to do damage when they're next to him when he does that ability. So Shredder's awesome. He should be a beast. He's the big bad. He's the main villain of the story. So he should definitely be on a top 10 list. So I'm really glad. I'm happy with the way he works. Right now, Zorax took his place in my PvP squad, but I still use Shredder all the time in Channel 6. If you watched my Channel 6 video I just put out, then you understand kind of what's going on there with why I like Shredder so much. So that's why Shredder gets number 6. Moving into my top 5. At number 5 is Leonardo. Leonardo is a great brawler. He's got that support tag. He helps his whole team. He does a decent amount of damage. He's got a small AoE. He's almost like a jack of all trades. He basically does it all. Not the most survivability, but decent. Like comparing him to Zorax, 50k. Zorax had 51k hit points. So they're very similar in their survivability, but the utility that Leonardo brings to the table, I think, makes him a better toon. And I definitely use him in PvP. Sometimes I do take him out on my Channel 6 runs, but not often. I definitely love Leonardo, the leader of the Turtles. So that's why he makes number 5. And in my number 4 slot is April. Now, April has been at the top of the tier lists and at the top of the top 10 lists for quite a long time. The reason why my April gets number 4 is because I still only have her at 3 stars. And so I'm capped at 200. I can't take her to 225. I've got a little over 200 dimension level on her. Her hit point is 31k. I really like April. Her kit is amazing. I just wish I had her at 4 stars. And I feel like right now where I'm stuck at Channel 6, this 3-star April is probably what's holding me back. But she's great. She's a beast. I don't use her in my PvP either because she's only 3 stars, although maybe if I put all my best gear on her, and she already has a lot of really good gear, I think the best that I can anyways, maybe she could still be useful, but based on I just want to be able to do as much damage as possible when I do those matches to try and get the most trophies. I don't feel like having the 3-star makes sense there, but she's still excellent toon, which is why she's in 4th place for my top 10 list. Now, before we go into the top 3, I do want to make one honorable mention out there, and that honorable mention is Mondo Gecko. He didn't quite make the top 10 list, but I did use Mondo Gecko early on when 3 stars were capped at 150, which is why he's at 150. I was using him, but he was 3-star when I got KC to 4 stars. That's basically when I stopped using Mondo because I figured they were my damage dealer based on the way my team was working. And so he's a good toon. I give him an honorable mention. He definitely deserves some love, the Mondo. So being that out there, let's get into the top 3 toons. And these 3 toons are basically always in my squad. There's never being pulled out or moved around. Maybe one of them once in a while, but for the most part, these top 3, and you can already see them over here. I'm going to say that my number 3 is Toka. Toka being one of the best tanks in the game, if not the best. I can't have personal experience comparing him against Frosty, but I love Toka. He has got a meat shield. Look at that, almost 90k hit points. In the last Ooze event, I was just shy of taking him to 250, so really looking forward to getting him to 250 pretty soon, next Ooze event, hopefully, because I think I have enough Ooze to do it, but I'm waiting for the event for that better placement, because that's a lot of Ooze to spend. Really like Toka. He actually does a decent amount of damage with his AoE, which isn't even why you have him in the team. You have him because he's just the meatiest tank there is. But the fact that he does a little bit of damage, and it's an AoE, so everyone's standing around him while he also roots them, just helps. It's really great. Love Toka. He's number 3. And in number 2 spot for me is Splinter. Splinter, his beginning skill, Ninja Master, giving out that defense and the strength and alertness and haste to everybody for 30 seconds. It just gives you that ramp, that little extra edge. 30 seconds, a lot of fights don't even last much longer than 30 seconds. So that those bonuses make a huge impact on the game. Plus I have 300 dimension level on him because he is also available at 2 stars, so you can start collecting dimension level on him really early. You can start investing on him really early. He's a great support plus brawler. He works really good next to Leonardo with Leonardo's Strike Together skill. So love Splinter. He is in basically every single squad. He's in every channel 6 level I do. He's there. Every PvP match I play, he's there. So that's why Splinter is my number 2 toon. And my number 1 toon is Donatello. Donnie. The first toon I took to 250, being that his ultimate Omni gadget, even though sometimes targets is a little whack, is just so strong. It's amazing. He's got a decent health pool for being a trickster support. He's not even a tank, but he's one of the tankiest characters, so he stays alive for a decent amount of time. And that alertness and the defense that he gives out, plus even though his AoE is not super strong on the amount of damage, it's great. Plus I have the most dimension levels on him, so I've just found him to be the most useful toon. He's always in all of my squads ever since they basically fixed him, because he was broken in Season 1 too. He was trash, but his kit read perfectly, but it didn't work right. So ever since they fixed him, he's just been amazing, investing in Donatello. So that's it for my top 10 list, guys. Do you agree with my ranking and my order? Are there toons that I didn't mention that you feel should have been on the top 10? Like I said, I'm not talking about any of these grayed out toons because I just don't have personal experience with them. And a lot of these toons you can see down here, I only have level 1 because I haven't invested in them or used them yet. So that's it for my top 10 list. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and give us a like. Ninja kick that subscribe button for more TMNT Mutant Madness content. And we'll see you in the next video.